crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of your women.
The penetrator. Now, come on, look, because I always went the farthest end of the target, goddammit. Libya, Tunisia, Lebanon, it was me, pal. I was always first in, last out.
This thing doesn't want to show itself. It wants to hide inside an imitation. It'll fight if it has to, but it's vulnerable out in the open.
Its blood was on the leaves.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
My favorite polar bear on YouTube, sort of Lucas Cuber. Whispers of a wrench of wrenches. Humor and wobbles. Old Gamer 72 Cutlass. The Mad Doctor, a Jaeger outlaw! DJ Ronnie G! Shawnee Step! The Mad Wrench here in Valhalla! Mark the infinitely tired! The Lady Arwen Avalon! Greetings, one and all, and welcome to YouTube Talk here on Mornings of Mischief. I'm your host, Stone Loki. Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody out there is doing great, having a great one. Guess what day it is, y'all? It's hump day. Yeah, halfway through the week. This is it. Everybody can't wait to get till Friday. Good morning, everybody. I missed a couple of people. Good morning, Jester's Darth Arlena. Good morning. She says, good morning, Valhalla. Good morning, Jester's Darth Arlena. Fat Steven Seagal. What is going on, Fat Steven? Finished Hogwarts. We're in Atomic Heart now. Great. Heck yeah. So you did all the endings and all the extra stuff, and that's insane. That's insane. 4 playthroughs. It's nuts. You're a gamer. He's a gamer, Harry. You're a gamer, Harry. They call him Harry because it's Harry trying to get out of his orbit. Oh, good morning, everybody. Daryl the Derelict, greetings program. I'm not doing 4 playthroughs. Oh, gotcha. All right. You did 1. Cool. Heck yeah. Keely Chow, what is up? Keely Chow, Chris Persia, what's up? Project Storytime, Sean Estep. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good to see everybody here. We're going to talk about ego this morning. Every YouTuber has an ego. Every single one has an ego. Don't fool yourself and think, well, I watch someone that doesn't have an ego. You're not doing foreplay? What? 6? Yeah, that's what he said. He's not doing foreplays. So, yeah, apparently not. Every single YouTuber has an ego. Every single one of them. You think they don't? You're crazy. We all have an ego. There is always an ego to bruise. Some people handle it a lot better than other people handle it. Some people crack under the pressure of their own ego. Some people make huge mistakes when they let their ego get in the way. Gestures, Darth Arlena, my ego is tiny. I prefer humility. I'm more on the humble side myself. And I try and keep that in mind at all times. But everyone's got one, whether it is concerning a video, whether it is concerning their ability to go through a game, whether it is concerning their live streaming, doesn't matter what it is. There's always something. There's always an ego to bruise. Imagine, okay, so let's say you've toiled on YouTube for a year or two. You've been around. You've had a couple of things kind of take off. Then you hit something big. You hit something big in the algorithm. Something kicks in, and boom, you've got your opportunity. You've got your stardom behind you, and you get that pride. That pride kicks in. As Marcellus Wallace always says, on the night of the fight, you're going to feel a slight sting. That's pride fucking with you. And it does. It absolutely positively does. Pride will always be your downfall. Ego, if tempered. I love getting to do some of the videos I do. I'm proud of that last video. There's some pride in that last video, but I'm not gonna let it go to my head, and I'm not going to let it affect the other things I do. So I'm not gonna go out and be like, I know this, that, and the other, and blah 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 blah, because I made a pretty good video. I made a pretty good Star Trek video that got people in the feels, that made people feel good. Well, that's why I made it, to share my love of something. I didn't make it to get 10,000 views. I didn't make it to get 100,000 views. I made it to share my love of something with other people. That's what's important. And that's what you have to keep in mind. Why are you here? Why are you here? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing YouTube? Well, what's the point? It's hard to be humble when you're perfect in every way. Dave Bob, I gotta love you, brother. The Rooster Dave Bob, ladies and gentlemen. I absolutely love that. Oh, Lord, it's hard to be humble when you're perfect in every way. Loki's ego won't get out of hand. Valhalla would mock him too much to let it happen. Right there. Right there. But this guy right here, Mexican Iron Man, this guy right here, we have talked about this multiple times. I'm not a YouTuber, thus I do not have an ego. You got an ego. You do. We all do. We all have either a little bit of one, or sometimes it's just out of the stratosphere. But every YouTuber, and you are a YouTuber, every single one of them has an ego. Even humbleness has an ego behind it. Right there. And thank you so very much for that $5 super chat. We have something new this morning, ladies and gentlemen. A little tuck and roll for you. I hope Snowdub's out there watching, because, brother, this one is just for you and Mexican Iron Man. Score and tuck and roll. Hopefully I don't get in trouble for that. It'll be interesting. It'll be really interesting. Yeah, zip it, Mexican Iron Man. Arwen Avalon, ego can either drive you to want to be the best you can be, or it can drive you to think you are the better than everyone else. Arwen Avalon. Every YouTuber has an ego. And sometimes it's not ego that drives you, but I see exactly what you're saying. It can want to be the best, or it can drive you to think you are better than everyone else. And that's the problem here this morning. That's the problem. That is the issue, isn't it? It's not the good it can do. It's the damage it can do. That's what you need to be aware of. When you start thinking, well, I'm better. I'm better than you. I'm better than them. I'm better than this. I'm better than that. I've got a great team. I have a wonderful team that backs me up. Project Storytime, Mark the Infinitely Tired, Chris Bergia, the Wrencher Branches, Mexican Iron Man. What am I without my team? What am I without my team? What am I without the chat? Someone said, you get 10 people in your live stream. It's glorious. I had 6 people, I think, in my first live stream. And it was out of this world. It was absolutely out of this world. I loved it, every minute of it. This guy was here. This guy right here was here. He was there to see it. We've still got a few OG players in the house. People in our lives, guess what? They shape our lives. So I have to disagree with you on that, Stephen, because people in our lives help shape our lives. So no, I wouldn't be the same Loki without that. I wouldn't be the same person without meeting all of you, without getting to know all of you. I wouldn't be the same person. If I hadn't have started down this road, I wouldn't be the person I am today. I'd be a variant Loki, Bill Barkley. Thank you. Thank you. That's I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. So what do you do? What do you do when you realize that maybe that's taking you just a little too far? You have to reevaluate what got you here and how you got here in the first place. Oh, it's not about the number 6. It's never about the number. It's about the people you meet along the way. It's about the friendships you cultivate. I don't think he was meaning a number either, but I'm talking about the people that affect your life. I'm talking about the people that affect change in your life, people that make you a better person. I don't care about numbers. I haven't cared about numbers since I got here. It's something I've said ad nauseum over and over and over again, is I could care less about numbers. I'm not touching the ego subject. I'm an overprotective asshole. Mark's a dick. Mark's a dick. He's mad and angry. And I love him for it. I absolutely love him for it. I wouldn't be the same person I am today if I hadn't met Mark. I wouldn't be the same person today if I hadn't met Mary. Arwen, Steven, Humor and Waffles. 6, people affect our lives. It's not just you talking into a microphone. It's not just you talking at a computer. It's not just you talking into a video game. It's all these people around you affecting your life. Loki has gone from being the guy whose content I enjoy to a true friend. Didn't see that coming when I popped into his chat. Thank you so very much, Project Storytime. Or as he was known by then, the Mominies. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. The Mominies. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. My friends that join me on the back tube keep me grounded and honest, and I truly appreciate them. Right there. The effect someone else has on your life. The effect someone else has on your content. The effect someone else has on your mood. The effect someone else has on your life. Let go of the ego. It's not all about you. It's not all about what you do. It's also about other people. I continue to find it astonishing that on YouTube, people that were once united in harmony against those that destroy the IPs we love are now divided and ghost each other like strangers. Sad. Let's talk about that. I want to get into that because this almost wasn't this show. I almost did something else this morning. Originally, I'd planned on doing something else. And it changed into this after talking to some really good people yesterday. So thank you so very much, Mexican Iron Man, for that $10 super chat. You guys keep the fires burning bright here in Valhalla. And this one's just for you, Mikey. Skull!
You're a very funny man, senor.
Before we go on, Captain Phantom Nerd says, okay, Loki, does my ego keep me from streaming? Cap, it's the opposite. You're self-conscious. And you're like, I'm no good. I shouldn't be doing this. No one wants to listen to me anyway. And you let self-doubt take hold. You need a little bit more ego, brother. You need a little bit of a kicker in the butt. And hey, you know what? I'm going to go out there. I'm going to do this and F anybody that thinks otherwise. Sometimes that's a good thing. Self-doubt and being self-conscious like that can be just as crippling as letting ego take over. So let's talk about people going after each other, ghosting each other, talking crap. When we used to be united, you know what happens when you let ego force its way into a fellowship like this? People start thinking I'm the best and I'm right. I'm right and you're wrong. That is crippling. You know what? Just because I have an opinion about this doesn't mean that I'm going to condemn 99% of anyone else that has an opinion. There should be no condemning at all whatsoever. If you like something, that's your choice. If you like Hogwarts and you want to go play Hogwarts, fucking go play Hogwarts. You like it. If that's your jam, go enjoy it. But saying an entire group of people should be condemned for not liking or for liking something, that's bullshit. That's SJW crap. People let their ego get in the way. instead of sitting down and hashing out an issue, they let ego get in the way. That's the problem. How many times have we seen that happen? I've seen it happen at least a dozen times over the course of the last 3 years. And I'm not talking about petty Annie bullshit. I'm talking about big shit. Why are you going to let something good get flushed down the fucking toilet because of your ego? It's not that they want someone else to fix it, Stephen. It's that they can't handle any kind of criticism. It's jealousy too, Arwen. It's jealousy too. They can't handle any kind of criticism. Look, everyone's got an opinion, right or wrong. Right or wrong, everyone has an opinion. Is this about the Picard drama? This goes way deeper than the Picard drama, Shum. This goes back to when I before I started on this channel. This goes back years. This goes back to the foundation of the fellowship, the fandom, whatever the hell you want to call it, where people let their egos get in the way. And it has divided. It has divided audiences. When you've got one person yelling that you can't like this, and you've got another person screaming that they do like it, and they're condemning each other. This happened in Mando. This happened before Mando. Groupthink, you can't go against groupthink. You can't go against groupthink. That's the problem. Culture Casino, good morning. He says, pretty sure I'm perfect. Morning, everyone. Good morning, Culture Casino. The real drama is behind the scenes of YouTubers. The stuff that comes out in public is a small percentage of the total reality of what happens behind the scenes. Guess what? Some guy doesn't like that someone didn't agree with him. How dare you not agree with me in my thing about this? We see it. We see it on the other end of the aisle too. We see it on the other end of the aisle. Just recently, some two fucks that were live streaming, one of them said something about the Flash movie trailer, and the guy was like, "Oh, I thought it was awful." And then the other guy says, "I thought it was amazing." And the other guy says, "Oh yeah, that's what I meant. I misspoke. It's amazing." You can't disagree. You get canceled for disagreeing, folks. That's the way they do things. They go my ego, Floral. So what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? You do you. Here's the thing. If you have to conform to the ideas and the opinions of someone else to be accepted, that's not being accepted. If you have to bend over and take one because of a group think, no, that's not being accepted. That's not being a part of something bigger than yourself. That's being under the yoke of someone who wants to be a dictator, period. I'm not going to go along with what everyone else says just to be a part of the greater good. That's how SJWs think. And that's the problem. That is the problem. This person does not agree with me. This person said the exact opposite of me. I have to go and I have to be a total fucking douche about it. And there's other douchebaggery out there. There's other fuckery out there. I kid you not. There was a guy, he had tens of thousands of subscribers. He had a really, really active channel. And what did he do? He flushed it all down the toilet, going after YouTubers that showed up after he did that had more subscribers and more clicks than he did. How unfair it was that these people who started after him were more successful than him. I mean, let me give you a shot of fucking ego there, because that's what it was. That's what it was. It was a giant, giant piece of ego that he had turned sideways and wedged straight up his own behind. How dare they do better? DJ Ronnie G. How dare they do better than me? So he started going after him. And he started making videos about him. And he started talking shit about him. And you know where he is now? He's off doing whatever, because I don't pay any attention. And I know a lot of other people that don't pay any attention anymore. Why? Oh, I know Loki is talking about hand raised. Pick me, pick me, pick me. By all means, Mexican Iron Man. People don't just leave it at you like a movie that I don't. They start assigning character attributes to someone who has a different opinion. Right here. And how about this? How about this one, ladies and gentlemen? You are damned for the person that you associate yourself with. You are damned for the person that you associate yourself with. Gather round, children. How about that one? So let's be honest. Mikey wants to be like, pick me, pick me, pick me. But let me tell you a story. There was a group I was a part of towards the beginning. A lot of family in that group. A lot of love. A lot of brothers and sisters. Until you went against the group think. Until we went against the group think. And then it was, how dare you? It was like being around a giant group of whatever that environmentalist chick's name is. How dare you? Ugh. And it was never the same after that. It was never the same after that. Why? Because you're a threat. You're a threat. At the end of the day, why should it matter? Right there, Arwen Avalon. At the end of the day, why should it matter if someone likes what you do or not? Greta Thunberg, thank you. Snorted Poops Cuber. He got it. You win the ding ding this morning. Ding 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 ding. Greta Thunberg. How dare you? I was like, where the fuck am I? And what reality did I get teleported into? I thought we were all supposed to have each other's backs. I thought we were all supposed to be there for each other. I thought this was one big family. What happened? Some gatekeeping. Some, we don't like you because you've got too much pull. So we want to get rid of you. Imagine something coming between, I don't know, the Friday Night Crew. Imagine that. They've got something, they've got lightning bottled over there on Friday Night Tights. They've got lightning bottled. Why would you let something come between that? Because fucking egos. Sometimes egos prevail. And something comes along and fucks it all up. You got something good going on. And something comes along and fucks it up. You get an Oko, or Oko Yono Oko, whatever the fuck that bitch's name was. And things happen. Things happen. What are you supposed to do? You're not supposed to let it, you shouldn't let ego affect something great. It already happened with Doomcock and Nerdrotic. Already happened. Mike, you opened the door. So let's talk about it. Why did that happen? Why did that happen? That specific event. Why did that specific event happen? People want to blame all kinds of other people. People want to blame all kinds of other people. But why did that happen? Pat Stevens says DC's ego is why it happened. And Kennel's mouth. McKinney Draw says Ryan Kennel. Do you know why that happened? It happened because DC, Ryan, and Gary. That's where the problem was. And if the three of them cannot sit down and discuss it and work it out and deal with it, that's where the problem is. That's where the problem is. Those are the three people. No one else has anything to fucking say besides those three people. Because that's where the problem was. Should Gary have apologized for something Ryan said? Fuck no. Should DC have let people rile him up into a frenzy? No. Should Ryan have said what he said? Probably fucking not. But it's between those three people. That's it. It's not between me. It's not between Mike. It's not between Fat Steven. It's nobody else's issue. It's their issue. And they shouldn't have let it happen. Plain and fucking simple. That's their problem. No one knows the real story of DC and Nerdrotic like I do. 95% of what happened is because the psychotic cult fans of all three channels started that fight and kept it going. But in reality, Mike, it comes down to those three people. And if DC let his fans push him into saying something he shouldn't have, that's on DC. Plain and simple. If Gary lets someone push him into responding, that's on Gary. If Ryan lets someone push him into doing it, that's on Ryan. Plain and simple. We decide our actions. We decide our actions, and we decide how we move forward with something. And all the three of them, no one fucking else, all the three of them had to do was sit down and fucking talk about it. That's it. That's it. No one else instigating it, no one else starting it. When it comes down to it, all of that was fucking high school. It was high school drama. It was a group of people egging three people to get into a fight and sitting there going, fight, 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 and encouraging it. And we are weaker as a fellowship because that happened. Because that happened, we are weaker. Do I agree with DC on everything he says? No. And I never, ever have. And he knows that. He knows that and told me, Loki, one of the things I respect about you the most is that you tell me how it is. And I said, thank you very much for that. I've always given him my honest opinion on something. Same with Gary. I don't try and be someone I'm not. I'm not a clout chaser. I don't have an ego up my own ass. I'm just me. And I try and be the most humble me I can be, sometimes to my disadvantage. But that's the way I am. You know what sucks? Being close friends with all three of them at the same time. Now I can add a fourth, which is R&B to the list. Frankly, I'm so sick of YouTube, I could leave tomorrow. Do you know what I would have loved to see? And I said this the other day. I would have loved to see DC, R&B, Gary from Nerdrotic, and throw like Critical Drinker. Throw someone badass into the mix. A 4-man panel on Star Trek. I would have loved that. That would have been like fucking hero time. These guys, as much as I'm like, I love Star Trek. I have all the technical schematics at home. I would have loved to see that and loved to see them go over that. I would have never missed an episode. I would have never missed an episode. But it's never going to happen. Machini, throw some guy into the mix as well. That's true. That's true. Give a guy a chance. Give a guy a chance to hang with the big dogs and not make an absolute ass of himself. But ego will never let that happen. Ego will never let that happen. Fuck! Sorry for yelling an F-bomb, but that's how I feel. Because it could have been great. It could have been glorious. It could have been great. It could have been wonderful. And we'll never get it because of ego. Doesn't matter at the end of the day whether it was a group of people instigating that or whether they let themselves get pulled into that and whatever. It doesn't matter how it happened. It happened. And at the end of the day, these people should be working together. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because of ego. They're going to die. They're going to die on that hill. Things are very different now than they were when all this shit started. I remember when we were all hanging out on the High Council, listening to Jeff Hicks, listening to Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, listening to Uncle E talk about eating pie. I remember the first time DC showed up on the High Council. Why? Because I was there in chat. Go back, look at it. I was there throwing out supers because I had no idea who he was. I was like, why is everyone saying Doomcock? Who the fuck is Doomcock? Everybody was over there hanging out, listening, chilling. It's where Jeremy started calling me Stone_Loki. Even though I'd been listening to him since before that. I was a member. I was on Geeks and Gamers when he had like 2,000 subscribers. He was nobody. Jeremy was small potatoes. He was where I'm at now. DC, I was there when he was small potatoes. He was under 10K. Hell, Lori Roberts was there before he hit 1K. Lori Roberts was on his channel before he hit 1K. And this is where we're at now. This is the state of things. And some people are absolutely fine with it. Why? Because it garners them more attention. Because ego. Because it garners them more attention and they get more out of it. Never put it past someone to get rid of someone in your fellowship just so they can have more spotlight. Never underestimate the power of someone getting rid of someone just so they can have more time in the spotlight. This guy right here. Where do you think I met Dave Bob? Do you guys know that like 5 fucking years ago, 5 years ago, before I ever did a video where I talked, before I ever did a live stream, 5 years ago, Tom from Midnight's Edge told me and Dave Bob in a Discord meetup that we should both be on the radio, that we have radio voice. You guys got voices for radio. Dave Bob, you got that twang, and Loki sounds like he's about to just, punch through a wall. And I was like, holy crap. Really? You really think that? There was someone else who was there too. Someone that is now ostracized completely from this community, and for good reason, because she's an absolute fucking bitch. She was there too. The one that likes to use a riding crop. Attention, 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 attention. Take care, 6. Right there, Magitech Mags. That's why I love Eric July. He doesn't give a damn about drama. He's actually putting in the work. He's actually putting in the work. Mark the Infinitely Tired. As long as it's not a luchador mask. God help you. Snorted Poops Cuber says you can blame DC for being here. I watched his videos because I loved how he ripped New Trek, and then I followed the crumbs to other YouTubers. And I want to tell you something. The first time I heard him go off on Discovery, I said, holy shit, he knows exactly how I feel. The first time I heard him rip Star Wars apart piece by piece, I said, holy shit, he knows exactly how I feel. Some people you hear for the first time and you're like, God, I know exactly how he feels. They're epic. They're epic. But what happens when it gets in the way? And we lose something. I used to love listening to the UFO shit with Gary and DC. I used to love that. I used to love it. It's one of the things I'd always make sure that I caught. It'd be like if suddenly me and Adega weren't doing 7 Kinds of Mischief together. It just wouldn't be the same. I wouldn't even do the show. The Exozone. Thank you. It wasn't the Inquisition. The Inquisition was good. It was the Exozone, Stephen, that I was like, I never missed that. I'd miss the Inquisition every once in a while, but it was the Exozone that was just like, damn, yeah. Who's the Exozone that I missed? And that's the one that went away for a while. They kept saying they'd come back, and it never came back. So it's not, some of this isn't about like what happened with all of that. It wasn't just about this person being right or this person being wrong. Sometimes it's just shit happens. Sometimes shit happens and you don't want it to. But sometimes things change. Whose fault is that? Unless you let your ego get in the way. But no, we're fractured. It's a fractured fellowship. That's why you have the problems you have with all of this stuff and people calling each other traitors and people calling each other CBS shills and people calling each other sellouts and on all of this other shit. It's because it's fractured, and it has been. I saw this during The Mandalorian. I've seen it in other things. People let their ego and bullshit get in the way, and this is what happens. Pops, who's been a member for 6 months, a member for 9 months. I don't know why it says 6 months and then 9 months. Is a member of Loki's army. Says another great therapeutic conversation. Stay strong and talk hard, Valhalla. Thank you so much, Pops, for that membership, brother. You guys keep the fires burning bright here in Valhalla. We're going to break it up a little bit. Hopefully, Snow's out there watching this because this one's just for you, brother. We're going to play this again. Skull! Tuck and roll, bitch. Oh my God. I was watching that. So I was watching that the other night. And as soon as that happened, I was like, tuck and roll, motherfucker, tuck and roll. Holy shit. I knew I had to make it a skull. I knew as soon as I saw that, I was like, dude, we've got to make that a skull. Healthy, passionate debates are great, but egotistical debates are horrible. I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. Loki, yep, I may have my opinions on things that I disagree with people on, but I value their friendship, camaraderie, and perspective. That's right. And that's what you got to keep in mind. That's what you got to keep in mind. Is it okay to disagree with someone? Yes, you're damn right it is. You're damn right it is. But you can be respectful and disagree with them too. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Let them have it. Let them have it. Captain Fandom Nerd, who's been a member for 7 months and is a warrior of Midgard, says, thank you for the stream, Loki. Thank you for being here, Captain Fandom Nerd. I appreciate it, brother. I do. And thank you for saying that. Comic Relief Crusader, who has been a member for 2 months and is a warrior of Asgard, says, heed the words of Loki, trust, truest inspirational. Thank you. Thank you so much, Comic Relief Crusader. Comic Relief Crusader, I was hanging out over there the other night. Had an absolutely wonderful time. I had a great stream. So, guys, if you aren't subscribed to the Comic Relief Crusader, make sure you head over there, ring that bell, check out his content, and let him know, hey, I'm here. Nice to meet you. That's always a nice thing. So, disagreements sometimes foster the best nerd fights. That is true. And that is why we have the comic book roundtable, because I love the nerd fights, talking about comic books back in the day. That was the whole idea. Lunchtime rolls around. You've got a table full of geeks talking comic books. You argue, you fight. Who's the best? Who's got the most power? Who's the deadliest? Blah 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 blah. Knock down, drag out, fight. When we walked away, everybody had the utmost respect because we all knew our shit and we all knew what we're talking about. Disagreements made in good faith can lead to fantastic discussions. Take out that factor and it's like pounding your head against a wall. And who wants that? Who wants that? Who wants to pound their head against a wall? Who wants to pound sand? Nobody. We do not kneel. Hell the Fandom Menace, hell Geeks and Gamers, hell Comics Gate, hell War Campaign, hell Rogue Entertainment, hell United Underground, hell the Fellowship. It's odd. It's really odd when there's people in the audience that give more of a fuck about your cause than you seem to. It's odd, isn't it? It's kind of odd. Keely Chow has been here since the beginning. Keely Chow's been here since day one. He knows what it's going to take. He knows what it's going to take. Us all standing up together and us all work together. I don't think people will let their ego go long enough to show how badass that would be. It would help a great deal if your egos allowed you to think of others just a little bit more than yourself. Take the time to consider outside self. If everyone did, the divisions would fade. So I made a statement. Bat Steven and Arwen will probably remember me making the statement. When all this stuff went down in Canada and the truckers took over and partied for like a week straight. After that, I said I would never do another GoFundMe ever again. And two people since then have asked me to do a GoFundMe, and I didn't. Yeah, they had a big party. They had the guitars out there. They had the stage. I mean, it was a big party. They called it a violent whatever surrection, whatever the Canadian government called it. Whatever they called it, terrorist action, whatever. But it was a big party. They partied in the town, in the protest, yeah, whatever they called it. They had a big ass party, and they came together as a group of people and said, "We're not going to take this shit." And it was peaceful. It was peaceful. That's why, hence, party. It wasn't looting. There wasn't pillaging. There wasn't any of that crap. After that, I said, because of what GoFundMe did, I'll never run another GoFundMe again. And two people asked me, and I said no. And I felt really bad about it. I said, no, this is why I'm not going to do it. I did kind of work with a different one over on a different, it wasn't a GoFundMe. So it didn't go through GoFundMe. It went through something else. And I was like, oh, okay, I can promote that. I went back on that recently with 24/7. I went back on that and I did it anyway. Do you know why I did it? Because I love 24 like a brother and I'd do anything to help him. So why would I not do anything the best of my ability to help him? Why would I limit his options? Because of my ego? I let my ego get in the way and decide for me that, well, you said this, so you can't really go back on it. You can't really do everything like you said to help him because you didn't do it to the best of your ability. I use Ko-Fi. You can have subscribers. They don't take a percentage of tips, and you can raise funds like a GoFundMe. Thank you, Kai. We did go through multiple options, and this is what he wanted to do. So this is what we did. I have no problem with that at the end of the day because I love my brother and I will do anything I can to try and help him. I let my ego go. I let my ego rest. I told it to shut the fuck up, sit down, and take a chill pill for a minute while I help my brother. Right there. Right there. And Steven knows how pissed we all were. Steven knows how pissed we all were when GoFundMe pulled that shit on the truckers in Canada that were doing a peaceful protest. And then they sent in the Gestapo to run them out. He knows. I was pissed. I'll never use them again. Because they turned on those peaceful protesters. But 24 is my brother. So I'm going to let my ego go. And I'm going to do what I can. And I should have done that to begin with. So. Fat Steven said, I used Ko-Fi because of the flood, and GoFundMe I didn't trust. There you go. So what can we do? We can tell our egos to shut the fuck up. It's not always about just you. I, me. It's not always about you. It's not always about me. I'm almost an hour into this show. I haven't talked about my medical condition. I haven't talked about going to the doctor yesterday. I haven't talked about getting put on stronger medication because my heart's not doing that great. I came on here and I talked about what I'm passionate about and what I wanted to talk about. It's not always about you. You don't always have to make it about you. You know what I love? I love when a stream's really going. I mean, you got a good panel on there and it's really going. And then someone comes in out of nowhere and tells a 10-minute story about something that happened to them and completely derails everything going on. That is not respectful. That is absolutely no respect for the magic that is happening on a stream. I could listen to Loki reading a story. Thank you, Bill Barkley. I actually do that on Thursdays most of the time with the Dega. So I'll read a story. Sometimes it's a Grimm's fairy tale. Sometimes it's something else. But thank you. I appreciate that. I fucking hate that. You got magic happening and someone pops in and wants to be all about them. The whole fucking stream has to stop and everything has to stop because something is going on with them. Mahogany Draws with the $10 super chat. At some point, you got to learn how to separate the art from the artist. After all the things he may have said and done over the past year, I'm still subscribed to RK Outpost. Oh, I fucking love Ryan. I've gotten a chance to meet Ryan in person. I've shaken his hand. I've shook his hand. I've talked to him. I've hung out. We bullshitted multiple times. Once in Vegas and again in Dallas. Great guy. Absolutely great fucking guy. Absolutely great guy. Thank you so much. Mahogany Draws with that $10 super chat. You guys keep the fires burning bright here in Valhalla, and this one's just for you, brother. Skull!
A dollar? I've never seen a dollar. Nobody's got a dollar. Let us see the dollar. There it is. It's beautiful. Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill. Magitech Mad says, yes, Loki, I hate that, especially when it's on someone else's stream and they take over the entire conversation. Right there. I fucking hate it. I'm like, God, the magic was happening, especially when there's like magic. When there's magic and everybody's firing on the same cylinders and it's like, damn, it's like singing. The singing fucking sword, and you stood up and told it to shut the fuck up and listen to you. How goddamn up your own ass do you have to be to do that? Stop and recognize the fact that sometimes it doesn't have to be about you. It doesn't have to fucking be about you. Sometimes there's a greater mission, greater thing going on than just yourself. You want to know why there's cracks in the fellowship? You want to know why there's division? That's fucking why. Magitech Mags, it was only one time. I promise never to do it again. Penta. Mexican Iron Man, what's up, Penta? Penta. Lord Thought. Snorted poop skewer. Ryan cusses too fucking much. I can't stand people who fucking cuss all the fucking time. Thank you. Snorted poop skewer. Yep, I've done that. Apologized after. Sometimes our states affect us and don't realize. Are you talking about the interrupt shit? Okay, quantify that, Steven, because I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Keep on keeping on, Loki. Thank you, Walter. Thank you, brother. Is it just me or makes an Iron Man fantasize too much? Fantasize? Yes. Guy, my tweet, nobody likes a blood clot. The homie 24/7 media got jumped by some punk ass blood clots. If you can help him get back on his feet after this unfortunate turn of events. Well, I wasn't talking about you, but if you've done that, then, and you apologized, well, then just keep that in mind and try not to in the future. I mean, it's amazing that you see that and you don't let your ego get all pissy about it. But I wasn't talking about you, so at least you know that I wasn't damning you, and you admitted it and you apologized for it. So just try not to do it in the future. I get that too, guys. Always take that into consideration. Sometimes people get upset, and sometimes people let their emotions get away with them, and that can lead to all sorts of shit. We're not always being attacked. There's not always someone coming after us. And if you live like that, like you have to be on guard of someone taking something away from you or being afraid of something like that, you're never going to let yourself grow and become more than you are. Bro, you're way too bigger than your own ego. Yeah, that's true. He is way bigger. The gravity well pulls in other planets, and yeah. So he's like a sun. He's even bigger than a planet. He's like a sun. So he eats planets. I do my best to check my ego at the door. Doesn't always work, but I try. So what happened yesterday with me and Mike? I will, Stephen. What happened yesterday with me and Mike? The clip that went out. When Mike's having a serious moment. He's like, "Look, my kid's moving to South Carolina. My ex is moving. My kid's could be moving in with me. He'll be living here, but she won't." And I said, "Whoa, wait a minute. Did she get remarried?" And he goes, "No." And I said, "Well, then of course she's not moving back in with you." And it took him a minute to realize what I had just done. But I had just thrown the bait out there. I was reeling him in, and he laughed his ass off, and we had a really cool moment. If he had this giant ego to bruise, he would have been pissed. And he said, "I'd be so pissed with you right now, but that was so funny. I fucking love you." And I mean, if we can't do that kind of thing with each other, why are we here? Why are we here? Why are we here? Why are we doing this? Why are we taking part in this? Why have we signed up for this? If we can't josh each other and elbow each other a little bit and have fun with each other. Do you know the problem? You want to know what the real problem with is Loki Zardos. Eris thought that was just the funniest shit. She was like, "Oh my god, that is so hilarious. That's Loki. That's Loki Zardos." She thought it was absolutely fucking hilarious. She didn't get upset about it. I didn't get upset about it. I thought it was funny. I laughed my ass off when I saw it. If we can't josh with each other and we can't elbow each other a little bit and have fun with each other, why the fuck are we here? And I honestly think that's what happened. That's what happened. That's what happened with RK and DC and Gary. If you can't elbow each other and if you can't take any of that, there's a problem. Let your egos down a little bit. Let your they mess with RK. There's no one. I want to say something, and I am going to say this in defense of Ryan Kennel. There is no one who has been messed with more than Ryan Kennel. Jeremy, oh my God, you know that Drunk and Jeremy and all of them razzed his ass when he first started. They were always on his ass. People still make fun of Brian. They put him like they'll put his face over a woman in a dress and all kinds of shit. All kinds of shit. Give him pink and purple hair. Do you think that he stays up at night upset that people do this? No. No, he doesn't. Humor and friendship dies where there is hypersensitivity. Right there. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. There you go. How much shit did they give Az? And he took it. Why? Because he's one of the guys. It's like a rite of passage. If you're too up your own ass to take that, you're in the wrong fucking game. It shows how much they're brothers. Right there. Makani draws. Right there. Want to get involved or deal with stupid shit he has no control over? Thank you, Monkey Jeebus. Right there. Right there. You want to break it down into the most simplistic terms? Right there. That is the way it is. RK called Doomcock a name. Doomcock got mad. Nerdrotic said, I don't want to be in the middle of this shit. And there were a million people instigating it even more and going after each other. But when it comes down to it, that was the problem. That's the problem. It's a man cave, Stephen. It's a man cave. People want to get upset sometimes when people say something like that. It's a man cave. And yeah, there's chicks that hang out in man caves all the time, but it is a man cave. So you go in there, people are elbowing each other, people are joshing each other, people are joking with each other, people are, shitting. You can call it shitting on each other, whatever you want to call it. It's a testosterone fueled man cave. Some chicks love testosterone fueled man caves. That's just the way it is. And people take offense to that shit. But if you shit on my carpet, you're out. It's a man cave with a feminine touch right there. There you go. But some people would take offense. How dare Loki? How dare Loki put it down to that type of term? How dare he? He has no respect for you. If he says that's what it is, then he has no respect for you, Stephen. Yeah, and that's just people starting shit. And a lot of people do that. Oh my God, did you hear what Loki said about Bat Steven? It's gonna spread. It's gonna spread all over the internet today. Loki's Mornings of Mischief said Bat Steven's game room is nothing more than a man cave. Oh my gentle Jesus. And that's how shit starts. That's how shit starts. How dare he label this person with a man cave? How dare Loki say that? Steven, do you know what Loki said? Oh my God, he said this. That's how shit starts. That's how problems start. That's how all this shit happened. And you know what? Suddenly, things aren't like they used to be. People whispering in other people's ears. People starting shit. People instigating fights. Oh my God, this person said that this person said this. Oh my God, do you know what this person told me? This person told me that Loki told them this. Oh my God, did you fucking hear it come out of my mouth, bitch? Well, no, then how do you know what the fuck I said? And why the fuck are you spreading bullshit? Why are you spreading bullshit? YouTube is a mosh pit. You can get bruised, but if you can, it can be fun if you know that getting into it. Enjoy the boots and elbows right there. Right there. Guys, I'm out of here. I'm 10 minutes over. We'll be back later tonight. I'm 99% sure we'll be back for the comic book roundtable. If we are not, I will post a message. I haven't talked to Klobby yet, but we should be. Unless Klobby's got something going on, we should be here tonight. Until then, be safe, be excellent to each other. Always speak friend to enter. We'll see you guys in the next YouTube talk. Take care, everybody. Oops. DM. Okay. Thank you, Steven, for reminding me. Never mind. Hold on 1 second. He sent a photo. Oh. Okay. I got to share this because I hate this motherfucker. So we're going to share this. Mm-hmm. I fucking hate that guy. And yes, Monkey Jeebus, he does. Otatabuto, Amajarbo.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.